Welcome back to our Youth League men. We're going to go down from our champ to 1-2-2 with our weekly wrap here of round 12. Now, champ, Youth League Championship men, straight into it. McKinnon fell short to Eltham 78 to 82. Eltham had a pretty well-rounded game there. McKinnon, I believe, 4 out of 5 starters made double digits, but just weren't able to get it done.
Yeah, pretty good for a McKinnon side who are down the bottom of the table at the moment to run with Eltham. Eltham are really strong. So on to the next one. Ballarat take care of Nunawading 83 to 66. Moving on. Melbourne, a huge win against Ringwood. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, look, I mean, Gazy was there. He didn't have a massive game for him. I don't believe Taj played, but Ringwood didn't have some of their bigger pieces. Hale and Sealy, believe, were with their NBL one side. Bailey Ruff wasn't there either, so Melbourne were able to capitalise there on that win.
Yeah, that's a big loss for Ringwood. So we'll see how they. I think they might have a different result the next day though, Ted. Let's move on. We got to Blackburn with a huge win, 86 to 74 over Diamond Valley.
Yeah, absolutely. Mackenzie Keegan, I believe I'm trying to say his last name correctly. Apologies, mate. He had a very, very nice game and weekend, actually. Did very well. I believe he had the 20, 22 or 24 in that win. Very nice.
And Kilsyth get an important win, 71 to 64 over Keilor, who didn't have their best weekend by any stretch. And we move on to McKinnon, a huge win over Melbourne, 105 to 87.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the same guys, Luke Lionberg and Joe Luxbury, I believe his last name. Labarski, there you go. Had two very, very big games, both 20-point pieces for the two of them. Melbourne obviously struggled. A very different unit when you lose, Gazy and Taj, and even sort of the coaching roster that they do have. So quite different outcomes for them over the weekend.
Yeah, but then we got a very one-sided result with Kilsyth putting a smackdown on rivals, Knox 100 to 58.
Yeah, massive game. Bo Trina had, I believe it was 17, but Kilsyth are just on a massive roll at the moment. They move the ball really, really well. They play incredible systematic basketball. They're just incredibly hard to stop. Isaiah Harvey had a very nice 22-point game.
And what a time of year to be heading into some form, Ted. I'm sure all teams would be wanting that form about now. And Ringwood 91 defeated Dandenong 82 as they bounced back from their heavy loss the night before.
Yeah, Bailey had a massive double-double game. Very, very good to see him back in that lineup. Very, very much needed in that team.
Yeah, Ben Perry and the Frankston Blues 95 defeated Nunawading 83. He was exceptional in this one and got his had his eye in from the 3-point line, Ted.
Yeah, he did 5 from 9 from 3-point. They did very, very well. They're spread across their whole list. They got very, very good guards with Perry and Hastings, and then you throw Tom Garrett and Pierce and Jackson in as well. Like very athletic bigs that play sort of perimeter positions. So they're incredibly tough.
Yeah, and they're coming into some form too in the back end of this year. And we'll breeze through these last three with Eltham taking care of Blackburn 82 to 69 on their home deck. Keilor unfortunately had another loss, their second loss for the weekend against Sandringham, 74 to 63. And Casey with a really important win to get their season back on track by 4 points over the Waverley Falcons. To round out the VYC men's fixture.
Absolutely. We had Youth League 1 men here. Geelong were able to get it done. A huge win over Altona, 118 to 61. Bulleen were able to get it done away from home over Sherbrooke, 49 to 67. Bulleen finding form here. Sherbrooke just fell short. They're unable to have a successful weekend.
Yeah, probably a weekend they ended up a little bit split, but... Yeah, Sherbrooke wouldn't be thrilled with the result. They just couldn't get it going offensively. A bit of a quiet night from Johnston, from Burke Doggett, from Manson. The sort of three guys you expect to hit those double figures and high double figures weren't able to get it done. Bulleen sort of a really important win for them to get there, start moving towards that top six. We then had Keysborough take care comfortably of Collingwood, 88 to 56. And Bendigo taking care of Coburg, 77 to 74. Who was the star in this one?
Yeah, Lockie O'Brien had a massive game, 33-point piece, I believe it was. Huge game for him, very well.
And Hume and the Corey Fittis show rolled in and took care of the Canby Dragons, 97-78. This is a really important win for Hume.
It is, yeah. I mean, Hume are just an incredibly different team with Corey on the floor. They seem to run everything so much smoother. He just continues to hold teams to one possession every trip. He's such a dominant rebounder and threat across the whole floor.
Yeah, and then we have Sherbrooke with a 3-point win over Altona. So a top 4 side taking on the bottom of the ladder. So Altona put in a really good fight, Ted.
Yeah, they did. I mean, look, they did lose quite a few big key pieces in the off-season, so they were struggling early. But, Sherbrooke, probably not the game they would have wanted to see. Like, yes, they got the win. They did score 77 points, pretty high, or relatively high, I guess you could say. But, yeah, struggled to hold this Altona unit off.
Yeah, and then we had Collingwood beat Hume, a Corey Fittis-less Hume.
Yes.
85-83 on the Sunday, and unfortunately no stats were done. But I was at this game, Ted, and Collingwood hit some really important 3-point shots early on in that fourth quarter to give them control before Hume came storming back. And big credit to the Hume Broncos fans. They are loud and they're right up and about to get their Broncos over the line.
Good on.
Good on. Really impressive display from their fans there. And just to finish off, we had Wyndham take care of Craigieburn, 115-97. And who was the star for this one?
Yeah, it was Josh Norling as per usual.
Surprise.
A massive game for him. Herbert contributed very, very nicely, which was good to see. Some of the other boys helping there along the way too, with Lizelle playing very consistently, averaging his mid-teens as he has previously.
All right, we'll move on to Youth League 2, man, Ted, and we start off with Melbourne University, 100 points to Chelsea 77.
Yeah, Josh McNally, big game for him. He is a series veteran in this league. He really brings some experience and some real, true, raw Bulldog energy to this Melbourne University team.
Yeah, and then we've got Mornington 131, get a big win over Wangaratta, so the North East Bushrangers, and it was pleasing to see a few youngsters off the bench get some big contributions there. Ted, I think it was the Morgan brothers with 17 points apiece.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Alex Thompson also off the bench with the 28 points was very, very impressive. Kai Taylor had a nice double-double as well. Matty Wolf, who's usually a big presence, only played 20 minutes with 14 and 7. So awesome to see this Mornington team sort of branch and play a lot more of their sort of second unit.
Yeah, and then we had the Albury Wodonga Bandits get a 21-point win over Melton, 84-63. And Maccabi Warriors, and a really important win for them to get some form back. 81 beat Bellarine 69.
Yeah, Maccabi just holding themselves in that fourth position there on a ladder, trying to keep themselves in that finals run.
Western Port, a big 54-point win over a very young Southern Peninsula Sharks. Then we had probably one of the games of the round in Whittlesea, 80, defeating Sunbury 78. Bit of the top of the table clash there, Ted.
Yeah, very, very important game. Two teams who we'll probably see towards the end of the season. Might not cross overs in the same pool, but very, very interesting.
All right, and I'll probably have to whip through these ones because we're running out of time. We've got Mornington 101 defeated Melton 56 for 2 big wins of the weekend. And then we had Pakenham get a huge win over Sunbury, 82-73. Albury Wodonga in a real tight one with Wallen, 69-67. And then Warrandyte took care of Surf Coast, 99-85. Before we had Maccabi defeating Southern Peninsula, rounding out the round with a 77-58 win for Maccabi, giving them 2 wins in round 12, which they'd be stoked with.
Absolutely, they really would. Look, that'll be all for us today. Keep it locked. We'll speak to you soon.